All right, guys, let's get into it. We've got Clem in the bottom left side of the map playing Protoss up against Bunny in the top right. That's right, it's the Wardi Mondays Weekly Cup, and of course, every time he's facing a Terran lately, Clem is dodging that TVT and having a heck of a lot of fun in PvT. He feels this matchup is extremely just fun right now, and I really thought it was because the energy recharge. Then I watched him play and realized he doesn't use that ability. He literally just plays like Max Packs and just plays some of the best multitasking, blink, pressure, plus third base, nice and early. It's a mixture of greed and aggression and actually fighting the Terran for map control from start to finish that very few players can pull off. But Clem has shown he's a master of it and very close to Max Packs level in this matchup right now, which is just obscene, isn't it? It's crazy. Like I think maybe players just aren't putting enough pressure on him. Toss! Bunny didn't even know he was playing this matchup. He didn't even look at the load screen. I didn't know. Bunny. Clem's like, oh, sorry. But okay, says Bunny. I mean, Bunny was doing a 1-Rax expand anyway, which is fine, I guess. Clem has been picking Protoss a lot. So maybe Clem doing the old Scarlet. I know Scarlet used to be a little bit dirty with it, where she'd wait till the countdown started and then she'd swap to Protoss sometimes for the ultimate surprise maneuver. It seems like maybe Clem just forgot to announce, hey, I am playing Protoss, by the way, which I think he normally does do, just to take away any sort of, cheeky surprise advantage from your opponent doing a build for the wrong matchup. Yeah, damn, dude. Bunny could have asked for a restart potentially. I think Clem would have given it to him because Clem is criminally nice. Gives up. He's very willing to give up advantages. Careful, careful, careful. Run south, run south. Bunny, you got to get out of there. That Adept could cut you off. Bunny, you got to get out of there. Oh, okay, the Adept's not hunting though. The Adept is going to go forward across the map. Second Adept comes out and the Nexus is there. And we do have a barracks with a reactor coming down, factory as well as a second gas. Very standard play for Bunny. Now, I don't know if Bunny realizes the fact that he's surprised that Clem's playing Protoss tells me he has not been following the non-Korean scene very closely. And that can really punish you because you should know, as any Terran player, there's a good chance Clem is going to be playing Protoss against you. Gets himself an SCV and a bit of lost mining time already. And the starport delayed there by the distraction. That starport could have started about 10 seconds earlier. So already, nice start here for Clem as he gets into a second gate. And we do expect a robo and a third gateway before third nexus. That's the way he loves to do it. Ooh! Ooh, okay. Reaper's going to go down. Adept's dancing. Reaper trying to pull back. Adept did survive. Good micro for Bunny. As long as he doesn't lose the Hellion, if he can get rid of that Adept, that'd be huge. He's trying to chase it down, but the Adept will win that fight. And the Hellion wisely backs off, which ends up being a Reaper for an Adept. Pretty good trade there for Bunny. Though he does end up losing a bit of mining time having to repair as well. Sorry guys for the tab out there. That's my bad. Just messed up with the audio, having that on double. Appreciate that. Oh, crud. Are we going 4-gate blink? 4-gate blink for Clem. Clem's going highly aggressive here. Now, Bunny has decent wall-off positioning, but not great. The factory starport should be placed here, remember? This is something Clem has showed us. I don't know how practiced Bunny is. I haven't seen him in a lot of weekly cups. He might have taken a bit of an off-season and only just be back to practicing. Because looking at his play right now, this is just so generic, and it doesn't feel like he's adjusted to the maps. Remember, first week on the PTR, Clem got ravaged by Max Pac's 4-gate blink, and then he started going factory starport here so that he could put tanks there and shoot the stalkers as soon as they blink in. Bunny doesn't have that. He's also getting intercepted by the stalker. Huge play here for Clem. The medevac should be going up to the left. It should not be continuing in this direction, in my opinion. He's going to try and hide in the dead space, and I guess he will get there just before blink's ready, but that is still a big commitment. A medevac and 2 mines going to be cornered. The bunker is going to have to survive. That's the key here, because we've already got that warp prism popping. 42 probes, 3 gases mining. Clem, where are your pylons? Clem's forgot the pylons. A bit of a mistake there. 1 pylon goes down. Looks like he's going to start the third nexus since he is supply blocked. Might as well. And 8 stalkers going across this map. Raven's about to come out. First siege tank is on the natural. I don't like that tank position too well. It's okay, but it doesn't help cover the main at all. I normally prefer a semi-wall off with the bunker here. Depot there. Tank there. But look at this. He's isolated. He throws down a preemptive auto turret. Doesn't matter, though. That's so many stalkers, dude. Clem picking up and saving all the weak Stalkers, not losing any of them. Takes out the Raven. Second tank pops out, but he can just blink on that. Clem's going to blink on that tank. You know he will. No, he blinks away. He actually does respect it, but he already kills so many units. Widowmines come in, kill 6 probes, and saves both of them as well. Not too bad. Stalker will blink after the medevac, though. He don't need... Oh, one more shot, but he doesn't micro it. He goes in on the natural, does manage to take out a siege tank. Very good blink forward. Adept Shade's in behind the natural. It's wrecking the SCVs. The bunker goes down as well. Bunny, you cannot be caught sleeping against Clem, dude. He was not expecting this level of detail. Obviously surprised by the race switch. And I think Bunny is realizing very quickly now just how brutal this is. Clem's Protoss is not to be sniffed at. Like I said, it is pretty much the same as Max Pax. Alright guys, we got Clem in the top right side of the map, and this time a much more prepared Bunny. I would not be surprised if he goes for a double gas opening to try and get a bit more momentum, not be on the back foot. It is of course Amygdala though, a rather large map, and Clem's going for I think Cybercore up there, Gateway there. Now, I believe it's Amygdala is the map where even when you wall it off, Reapers can kind of jump up and down a little bit. On this ledge and these ledges. I'm not sure if that's been bug fixed on this version, actually. Maybe it was only the PTR version of the map where that was broken. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be a probe scout for Clem as well. Now, Clem, is he still going core before Nexus, like Max Pax does? Because I think we've realized, like I spoke to Estrella and Harstem about it, and they said literally the only person... I was like, hey, I noticed Nexus before core is 10 times better, especially on big maps like Amygdala, but even on small maps, I get away with it every game. I only lose a probe because my micro is bad. And Harstem said every pro, like, fully believes that Nexus before core is just infinitely better build, except for Max Pax. But because Clem copies Max Pax, he likes to just do it Max Pax way. So he always goes core before Nexus. Now, the difference between these two, Harstem even had a little video on his Harstem Plays about it, is... you get your second gas way faster, and your Stargate or Twilight or whatever can be earlier. You just have more gas. Your Nexus is up about 10 seconds early, which means you get an extra probe out. You also get chrono earlier. So you just end up with a few more probes, more gas mining earlier instead of having 17 workers out of 16 on the minerals. Yeah, it just is a smoother opening in general if you go Nexus before core. But it's a little riskier, you could argue. However, it's a big map and you've scouted that it's not a proxy barracks. So I truly feel like there's just no advantage to going core before Nexus here. For Clem though, it's about consistency. It's, I only know one opening. It's a very solid, well-rounded opening. Max Pax has done this 43,000 times versus me, and I know it's kind of unpunishable, so I'm going to do the same thing. Also, it does allow you to send your first Adept across as long as you chrono the second one. And there's not really much of a chance for the Reaper to get in and do damage in between. So it does punish a player if they don't, say, build an early bunker or get their Marines out very quickly or something like that. Factory already has a tech lab, so it looks like it will be a very early Cyclone to just shut down any sort of Adept presence on the map. But no doubt with the Twilight Council and second Gateway going down on the natural as well, Clem should be well prepared for any sort of Cyclone opening. I actually think a Cyclone opening is super suboptimal. Unless you think your opponent might go Stargate. The reason being, yeah, it can shut down the scouting, but you're not really going to be able to do a heavy pressure with it, are you? Because, careful with that Reaper as he does go south. Does he see the Adept? Not quite. 2 Adepts about to come in, guys. There's only 2 Marines, but with the Cyclone almost out, if this Adept finishes, it's actually very bad for Clem. Yeah, raise the depot, get him to commit, and then lower the depot, bring the Cyclone down for the punish. Very nice move. The Marines should have kept focus firing that Cyclone. He loses a few Marines there, but 2 Marines for 2 Adepts. Very nice. And there we go. The Reaper just jumped up the ledge. As I said, yeah, that ledge still is a little bit buggy there, but it's hard to tell your Reaper to jump down it. Sometimes it won't go down. Ooh, probe does fall. And the Reaper falls as well. Chat's asking, are we going to do any big tournaments, Pigfest or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we have not had an announcement. If there is not an announcement by Christmas time for EWC, for StarCraft, then we will get planning in mode, and hopefully early in the new year we can announce a date for Pigfest and host another one of those. Especially if we don't have EWC, you know, creator-run tournaments, community-funded and run tournaments are going to be bigger than ever. So really important for us to get that going. So we definitely will do that and set that up. If we get the EWC dates, we'll also announce something and try to dodge whatever the Premier Tournament dates are. We're bringing SCVs? Oh, this is a crazy push. This is the longest rush distance map in the pool outside of maybe King's Cove. Neon Violet's pretty big. It's one of the bigger maps. Going for this sort of push is crazy. ByuN boosting in a tank right now. He's going to commit to the Cyclone Marine tank push. Here we go. Tank's going to unload on the front. That Robo is very exposed. It's a very vulnerable structure. He's going to try and throw 2 bunkers down as well. Cyclone adding some nice range maneuverability, but the Marines are blocking it right now. You got to be careful. Blink almost ready. I think Clem has to just blink on the tank and take it on the chin. And he's going to go for it. He blinks forward, takes it on the chin, takes the siege tank out with 2 volleys, focuses the medevac next, which is the most important, then the Cyclone. And when it's just upgraded Marines, or unupgraded Marines, I should say, left, and he can blink back. As long as these Stalkers pull back, Clem, oh, the weak Stalkers. Finally, one of them does go down. He can stop these bunkers from finishing. That would be huge. Bunker does finish, but I think the Stalker's more than a match for a bunker with just 2 Marines in it. New siege tank arrives. ByuN committing super hard here, but Clem is all over this, man. Clem is all over this. Like, yes, there's a lib now, but you've only got 2 Marines. I mean, the Stalker should just go around. Blink down on the left, flank the tank, flank the lib. There's no Marine firepower. So whenever you're not getting hit by the tank or the lib, this is an easy cleanup. You've got 3 gateways. You've just got to cut off the reinforce or dive on the lib in the tank. He's going to go for it. He's going for it. Here we go. Blinks in. He's going to take care of the siege tank in 2 volleys. Then he moves out of range of the Marines. Liberator goes down in another 2 volleys. And of course, that bunker can easily get cleaned up as well. It's just a matter of when he chooses to fight it. There we go. Does choose to go in, engage that. The gateway trying to get focused. ByuN will take out 1 more Stalker, but the push has been stopped. And the question is, was it enough damage? Well, units lost time is pretty damn even. He brought 2 more SCVs. That's crazy that he brought 2 more SCVs at the trail end there. He's got 3rd CC, bunker, 2 tanks at home. 2nd and 3rd barracks only halfway done. The problem for him is that Clem's 3rd base is up. He can probe, build a 4th nexus. Look, he's already got a camera up there. Yeah, he's already moving a Stalker to the top, and he's going to intercept the next lib. And he can just go for, you know, everything he needs. He's got full control over this game, does Clem. Sees the Liberator coming. Does he notice it, though? It doesn't look like he noticed that. Yeah, he didn't notice it. That's unfortunate. The Liberator could cause some trouble. Tank and Marines in the main. Tank and bunker in the natural. 3rd CC will finish. 4 gas. Double engineering bay. And a 4th and 5th barracks goes down. Liberator sieging in the main base. And Clem, pretty quick response considering he didn't notice it earlier. Going to warp in some Stalkers nearby. And the Liberator's going to get the heck out of there. Stalkers do not want to blink into that main. Luckily for Clem, he sees the 2 tanks. And he thinks better of it. Why is Clem playing Protoss? Common question we get. Clem's been playing Protoss for the last 3 weeks. He's this entire patch in PTR, mostly laddered Protoss, not laddered much Terran. Still plays a lot of tournaments as Terran, but he loves PvT. He really has been inspired by Max Packs in this matchup and has said, hey, I want to be playing PvT as much as I can. I just enjoy the matchup, having fun with it. And I actually think I might be better at it than I am at TVT, so why the heck not? Raven's going to go down to that right side. Stalker's coming up on the top left. 4th Nexus will be going down shortly. It is up to 8 gateways now. That's right. Oh, 9 gateways with 2 more making. That's 11 gateways, guys. What the heck? It's a lot of gateways right now. Where are they? 9, 11 gates? A little bit of an odd choice. Stalker's blinking away there as the Marine Marauder tank comes out. ByuN is on the back foot. The question is, how much does he commit? He's got a 2nd eBay he never started using. He's got to make sure he makes that upgrade. Raven comes in, gets itself 2 probes, and not going to be able to get another one, as it does go to hide in the north. Extra auto turret, and not clicked down very well, because he's getting blinked on! Oh god, I didn't even realize Clem was going to commit. I thought he was just poking around. He's actually diving! Pre-stim, pre-shields, pre-concussive. Great observing from Pig. I did not expect that at all, guys. Sorry. I should have noticed that he was full committing there. He's taken a 4th probing going for a Robo Bay, but he saw a Terran that was caught with no upgrades, and Bio without upgrades is a lot like a man with a gun but no bullets, and it's not exactly very effective. If you have to use your rifle as a club, let's just say you're not even 10% as effective if you've got some actual ammunition. That's going to be GG there. Clem dismantling him. Bad build choice for ByuN. Clem is very good at stopping these builds. Don't get me wrong, he lost a game or 2 to builds like that against Gumiho in the finals of Home Story Cup, but that was on maps with really nasty push positions like Abyssal Reef. So look at this, guys, just about 30 seconds before Stim Shields is done. Zealot Stalker there, Zealot's on the right. Who needs upgrades? The Terran doesn't have upgrades, we don't need them either. Observer sees everything, and look how good this fight is. Stalkers take out a tank almost instantly, and he's going to warp more Zealots in on the right side of this fight. Can't even stim on the Prism, because you don't have stim. Medevac goes down as well. Wow, absolute domination. Great 2-0 for Clem. All right. Well, straight off a quick and brutal victory, Clem is now queuing Protoss once again, now against ByuN in the top left side of Neon Violet. Liquid Clem against Shopify Rebellion's ByuN, avoiding the ByuN TvT, which is, I mean, he's been beating ByuN in TvT recently, but it just goes to show Clem is just having fun and enjoying this. My big question is, when we get to big Premier tournaments, is Clem going to keep playing Protoss versus Terran, right? Like, he already did it in Home Story Cup. Is he going to keep doing this in Masters Coliseum? Actually, isn't Clem playing in tonight's group at Masters Coliseum? Maybe you guys can check. I think Group B is going to be played in about 12 hours from now. So I think he might be in that group. Actually, I think it's Rayna's group, unless Rayna and Clem are in the same group. So it should actually be an action-packed night at Masters Coliseum. It will be interesting to see if he does more of that. But for now, Clem's PvT is getting insanely good. And it's very hard for players to keep up with because he's just so good at the multitasking. I always feel like a lot of Protoss players, myself included, like buckle under the pressure when we get caught off guard by something. But Clem just doesn't. And he's also playing so safe. Like, he's always gate scouting. He's always building core before Nexus. He cuts no corners. And he's just so consistent. It's kind of crazy. Small asterisks from Twitch chat, and rightfully so. He did get wrecked in TvT with Gumiho before swapping to Protoss in the Grand Finals. But I still think him and everyone else felt that he absolutely could have played Terran and had a very different outcome to the first series, right? I think he's just having fun with this matchup right now. He's enjoying it. And, you know, he's world champion. He won the biggest first place prize pool in StarCraft 2 history of $400,000. And I think he's happy to enjoy. I think it should give him great perspective from the Terran side of this matchup as well. So maybe he's just doing this to prepare for when Max Pax comes to LAN. He's like, I need to understand the Protoss side of the equation even deeper. Marine into factory here. He did swap to Protoss in, I think it was like the final game of that series. Yeah, versus Gumiho the first time around. That is true. Pretty close game as well. It's like that final game where he swapped to Protoss on Abyssal. And then the series, I think the second series ended on Abyssal as well, didn't it? Abyssal Reef, his PvT has problems on. Neon Violet's a gigantic map here against ByuN. So ByuN has not gone for a Reaper, which makes sense. Reaper's terrible on this map. I wonder what ByuN's got in store for us. Now, you can't get a 4-gate blinked on this map, guys, because you've only got to defend this one choke point. You can see how there's this whole gap here. You've got like a karaoke club, Long John Silver's, a whole bunch of different stores here, including the Supernova Men's Club, by the way, with some hologram strippers by the looks of it. And yeah, it definitely is very easy to turtle, and it encourages you to take a quick third base. Alright, Depth gets hit off on the Marine. Marine Hellion coming forward. It's going to come out, and more Adepts coming forward as well. Okay, nicely done, nicely done. Good defense by ByuN. He pushes back the Adepts, only takes one hit on a Marine, and now he's going to try and bully these back. The Marines, of course, trying to escort the Hellion to hunt this down, but he stays deep with the Hellion. The Hellion could have ran away there. I guess he's happy to take a Hellion for 2 Adept trade. It's still a good trade, but would have been even more excellent if he got that Hellion out of there. Second gate and Robo goes down. I do not think we'll see a third gate. Now, a lot of Protoss have been taking this top right base because it's full minerals and gas. The back base, very safe, but it's only 4 minerals, 2 gases. So unless you're planning on making mass Archon High Templar, not something that's very good against a race with EMP, the front base is going to be more effective. Terran, a less mobile race, more commonly taking those front expansions though. For now, Factory is building a tech lab. We've got a, is that a single mine drop? Okay, single mine and a 7 Marine drop. Bit acute pressure coming in. Nexus does not see it. Nexus has minimal vision until it's finished. The Widowmine's going to try to run in the natural while the drop delays. Clem barely misses the medevac. Great move here. This drop's going to catch him off. Clem, how's your crisis management? He's only got 2 gateways. 2 of his stalkers are out on the map. They're out there a few seconds too late. ByuN is getting on in there. The Widowmine should be going in at the same time. Yeah, it's going to run in at the same time. He's already grabbed himself a bit of mining denial. No actual probe kills though. Damn. Clem is so good at just getting out of there at the last second, but he sends 2 probes, 3 probes back to mining, which is a problem, and he loses a few of those. The Widowmine does take out just 1 probe as well. Good split over there as the Stalker deals with that Widowmine. Blink not quite done. 3 probes in mining time. I thought he'd get more with how much he caught Clem flat-footed there, but no. Clem is just so good at pulling away probes, so good with his reactions, and I think Clem really shows that if you stay calm and don't panic, You can get a lot done with an opening that you just have a deep knowledge of like he does. Marines focus firing a few more probes down. Could have maybe focused those probes a little bit earlier. Gets 2 more, does end up losing the Marines. Overall, I think great lost mining time damage. Keeps the medevac alive. He's got a Raven coming in behind it for the dead space. It's a decent opening for ByuN. He is going to go for 3 racks afterwards. So looks like a standard stim shields +1 follow-up. 3rd gas, probably a 4th gas. Before a 3rd command center. I don't think we'll see a boy pull. I don't think we'll see like a full 2-base push. But keep our eyes on it because ByuN definitely has a more aggressive kind of lean to his build. He has to be a bit more aggressive with this setup. I like Clem's setup. Look at this though. Stalker's looking for stuff, defending the main. Charges on the way, Forge coming in as well. And he's only on 2 gateways. He's being quite greedy here. And I think it's probably a good idea on such a big map, but he's going to have to be careful. As out comes a pressure. Observer comes in, sees 2nd and 3rd barracks are kind of late. But that does mean your opponent could have invested in an earlier force. 3rd and 4th gateway only now building, leaving just 1 Stalker in the main base is Clem. Clem very good with his manual control. Stalker's coming forward. He needs to wear this push down. He sees no army at the front, so his Stalkers are coming forward, but the army, it's avoiding him. It does dodge the Skibbity Forest. Now he glimpses it. He sees that army. He's got 5 Stalkers closing in. ByuN's going to pull the Marines back, let the tanks do their magic. He's got the medevac there for the hot pickups as well. Got to be careful, though, of the blink forward. Raven still hanging out in the bottom. He's going to come in now as all the Stalkers are on the front. Auto turrets in the back door are going to cause a very hectic moment in this game. As he goes up to 8-9 gateways, does Clem. Really keen to have that gateway count as the first auto turret comes in. Good mining time. Damages a bunch of probes. Only kills 1. I don't like that 2nd auto turret. I think that was a little wasteful. Does get a bit more mining time, but in total, only 1 kill on this Raven. And he throws down 1 more, but the Stalkers are there. 3 probes. Good focus fire. 4 probes in total. But for 3 auto turrets, I wouldn't say that's anything exceptional. Marine tank pulling back. Stim is almost done. Concussive has not started, but he's got a 3rd command center on location as he scans the observer down, takes it down. 3rd CC's there. Combat shields +1. We should see more Marines, more Marauders is the most important thing right now as ByuN picks up an 8 Marine drop trying to slide into that main base. Robo base started as well as +1 attack. 4th gas comes in for Clem. He's got that single sentry. I'd love to see him refill that with the energy recharge. Get that energy ahead of time. So then you can Guardian Shield, use 2 force fields, and then refill it again when the push comes. That's always really nice. I feel like preemptive energy recharge is one of those things we aren't seeing enough usage of from players. And it really gives you so much value, the ability to split these armies with force fields. 9 gateways up, 10th gateway coming in. 10 gateways seems to be Clem's modern way of doing this. That's so interesting. He used to always play 8 gateways like Max Packs, but he's kind of changed it a bit now. Wants that little bit of extra oomph behind his production. ByuN has 60 workers. He doesn't need to force the issue here, but he wants to poke forward, gets himself a Stalker, does take a few hits on the medevac as he stims just a few Marines and Marauders. 8 Marines do get deflected. This Observer is well placed. If he spots it, he could unload and scan it down. Looks like a Marauder just got picked off in the blink away for Clem. Very well done. But Concussive now finished. 2 Stalkers go down. Oh, Zealot gets caught up there as well. Zealot, Stalker, and 2 sentries ready on the D. First Colossus almost out. Extended Thermal Lance 1/3 of the way up. No 4th base started just yet, but you can tell Clem has a probe there. He wants to take the low ground 4th on Neon Violet. Marines, he sees the Observer. Clem probably should have kept that one in the dead space a little bit safer. By the way, guys, what is this? Is this a monorail? Is that a monorail? What are we looking at? Or is this just like a walkway between buildings? I would not want to walk on that. That's got to be a monorail. Got to be like a monorail or something. You guys let me know the lore of Neon Violet Square. Yeah, it's a monorail with 2 rails. There's always a German in the chat ready to point out the facetiousness of your comment. Or not the lack of logic in your comment. You're like, that's a dual rail, pig. Mono means 1. Mono also means the number of friends you have, Twitch chat. Get out of here, guys. Okay, it's a train. It's a raised train line. All right, all right. Fire army moves down the right. It's a lot of Zealots. Oh my god, that's a lot of Zealots. There's not much splash damage here. Widowmine's not really getting big shots off that they want. Stalker's still on the other side of the map. The Zealot's trying to hang on. Anti-armor missile goes down. Clem fighting without Stalkers here. And only 1 Colossus. 2nd Colossus is out, but it's not quite at the front. There we go. He's there. Clem's in trouble. Clem's in trouble right now. He's trying to hang on. Guardian Shield trying to hold the line. Stalker's coming in from behind. Can they turn this? Can they turn this? His Colossus stutter step is so excellent. He accidentally attacked his own pylon. He loses one of the Colossus. The other one's so low. The Marauder should probably stim forward to try and get it. The medevacs go down. The Raven's going to go down. The Stalkers come in. A cleanup for Clem. as he holds the line. But he does lose 1,200 more resources. That being said, cleaning up all the medevacs and the Raven and everything else is huge. But ByuN has a 4th command center. He's still up 35 supply. Where are his upgrades? 2-2 starts for him against +2 with +1 starting. Second Forge has only just started. So ByuN's ahead of the curve on the upgrades. He's ahead of the curve on the 4th command center. He's just missing that Ghost Academy. That's the one thing we'd like to see him mix in. But he's got to keep his barracks production up first and foremost. Look at his barracks. They're idling. So he's actually a little bit poor right now, is ByuN. This is why you do need to squeeze some mules in if you want to maintain that non-stop production. He actually does have the Ghost Academy. Never mind. First ghosts are building. And we should be seeing ByuN powering on the barracks production, but he's kind of slipping up on his bio production right now. His reacted barracks finally queue up a few more Marines, and he is still up 25 supply. Skibidi Forest, an awkward area for melee units to engage, but I think the Colossus are going to really enjoy this terrain, as long as they don't get too bugged out on it, and they actually move through it pretty smoothly, which is nice. Single Zealot in the north. We've got more Zealots warping in there. Second Robo trying to go down, but it is exposed. A few Zealots run in. He's going to go after the sensor tower, as well as trying to pick off some more SCVs. High ground mineral lines exposed. ByuN will pick off a few probes for free as the tanks and Widowmine siege up. Marines probably want to fall away there. He's trying to start a step back. One tank goes down. Widowmine's landing in a spread across those. Marauders go forward, but they don't actually go for the Colossus. He's got to get out of here. The Colossus with +2 doing massive damage. And the Marine Marauder actually melted far quicker than I expected. Ghost on the other side. A Ghost goes down to a Zealot. Super worth for a Zealot to trade for that. A few Marauders get taken down as well. ByuN looks like he A-moved on the way home there and actually got a bunch of his units caught by the blinking stalkers. His supply is very low. The lack of bio production really hurting him right now, as he's only on 2 Marauders, 4 Marines. How is he only on so few units? I get Ghosts take a long time to build, but he's lost his whole army right before Ghosts and 2-2 come out. This is an excellent time for Clem to reset. He's got a Prism, a Disruptor, and a Dark Shrine. He's got 2 more gases, so he's going to go up to 6 gases now as well. 1 on the natural and 1 on that 4th base. And if he can take a 5th base as well, I feel like Clem on 72 workers is absolutely soaring into a very good economic position. Gets himself the Viking with some good blinkbacks. Zealots on the north continuing to deny the sensor towers. He keeps A-moving them not right into the base, which is funny. But they will now charge in and try to trade for a few SCVs. ByuN having ample time to deal with that, and on 82 workers, he should be just fine. Being on 8 barracks is huge now. ByuN got past a scary part in the game. He needs to just get his army size back up. Command center gets cancelled. He instantly rebuilds. He needs to keep up that Marine Marauder production. He's got 6 Marauders, 4 Marines building at a time, but this command center is taking damage. Oh my lord. Clem right now forcing the issue. Zealots in the main base. The Vikings do deal with the prison before the Zealot warp-in finishes, but on the front, his command center gets focused down. ByuN under pressure right now, and this is the non-stop aggression of Clem that Terran players are just not used to facing against. It is max pax levels, and I dare say it might be greater than max pax levels of aggression. I don't know if you guys believe me or not, or agree with me, I should say. I'm starting to think Clem might be better at playing super aggro than max pax. Now, I'm not saying he's as good defensively, but like there's pace he puts on the Terrans where he's so in their face. Now, on the other hand, he throws games by blinking into Marauders way too much, right? He takes crazy risks against Terran all the time. And it is something which sometimes costs him, but it also gives him some victories. It's like there's a little bit of hero in Clem's play, you know, just that absolute lack of fear, that willingness to YOLO in. What? What just happened? Did he take a disruptor shot? Okay, so he gets one. Sell it. What? What? Why? ByuN, yes, he lost his 4th command center, but he's got a new one coming up. He's maxed. He comes in with a Widowmine, kills a few probes on the high ground. It's 4 base against 4 base. Yes, there's a 5th coming up on the gold, but he doesn't even know about that. ByuN has a massive army of Marine Marauder. If we go back a few seconds to just before he left the game, he's in a perfectly playable position. There is nothing wrong with this situation at all, guys. I mean, yeah, it's not amazing, but he's got +3 armor started. Still hasn't fixed that problem. He should be making +3 weapons instead of armor. But he's fine. And then it's like, DT comes in, it's annoying, and he just GG's right here. But why? I mean, this is a crazy surrender, and to do this in a tournament is very upsetting for the fans and everyone else. Chat says he's 3 base versus 5 base. He's not. He just got his 4th snipe, but he didn't lose many SCVs. He's got a new 4th finish there. He can just immediately get it back to mining. 5th base isn't even up yet for Clem. And you're meant to be down a base in this matchup anyway. You're up in supply. The numbers aren't that bad. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had something more to say. I think this is a really embarrassing lead for ByuN. I don't know if his bunny jumped on it, his puppy, jumped on his lap or what's going on. But this is just bad. He has scans, plenty of them. He's got turrets. He can easily deal with this, and he just throws in the towel. Clem was playing a very good game, don't get me wrong. Trading almost dead even with ByuN when lots of Protoss players end up way behind in the trading. But this is a bit of an embarrassing lead for ByuN. And I'm sure Wardi was quite upset to have him leaving in the middle of a match so easily. Like, he was not defeated by any means. All right, guys, that was a bit of an upsetting loss. I've tried to DM ByuN, see, hey, why did you leave that game? Hopefully he's not too, I don't know if his wrists were hurting. He just felt like, oh, gosh. Maybe in his mind, he thought Clem had like 6 bases established. He probably thought Clem had the back base, which he didn't. Maybe he thought like, oh, you're going to have, 3-3, Storm. You've got DTs pinning me back. You're going to have just too much momentum. And I think it goes to show that ByuN doesn't feel confident versus Clem in late game. You do not leave that unless you think your opponent's better than you in late game. And that's crazy. It's crazy. I'm thinking about how many comebacks ByuN has made in late game from behind, way behind against guys like Estrella. The fact that he just rage quits there against Clem is bizarre. And Clem is, of course, going to do the same opening. And the only variation is whether he goes 3-gate into a 3rd base or 4-gate blink into a 3rd base. Didn't want to deal with the Dark Templar, people are suggesting. Yeah, it wasn't a hard answer, Pull back with your army. But it felt like ByuN was like, he just felt in his head like he needed to win very soon. By the way, what is this glare on this map, guys? We got this like sunspot on the screen. What is that? What's that from? Is that purely from this light? Should I turn that setting off, guys? I've fiddled around with my settings recently, and I think that setting might be more annoying than it is good. Chat says it's from the monorail. You guys let me know if that's too annoying. I can probably turn off the lighting, dynamic lighting settings. Because that is a little annoying. Kind of looks like just a soft filter everywhere on the map. Chat says it's the ray tracing. I don't know what any of those fancy graphics words mean. Command center there. I mean, I've cast this map a ton, and it's probably been there the whole time, and I just didn't notice it, I imagine. All right, we got the factory there. Command center on the high ground. Very safe opening. Marine into reactor. We've got that adept getting chrono boosted out across the map. Second gas, as you can see, is always a little bit slower to start mining here with this core before Nexus, but that's okay. Part of the reason is you need to go pylon before second gas. That's why that second gas gets so delayed with this reordering, just in case anyone was wondering. No second adept. Oh, he's skipping the second adept this time because he thinks it's a Marine. I don't know if he saw the Marine or not, but he did see the command center, so I think he definitely can read into that. He probably spotted it as well. And he's saying, hey, I don't need to chrono. I can put another chrono into probes or blink, and I can just kind of get to it. You can also see all this long distance mining. You can see how many minerals get lost from this opening compared to a Nexus before core. But something I've been kind of begging MaxPax for over a year to change up his opening, because he could be getting further ahead. But I keep having to go back on it and say, you know what? You know your opening timings like the back of your hand so well. Maybe there is something to be said for not taking the free advantage and just being more comfortable. Because MaxPax and now Clem emulating his style. They really are the style of player who tries to play the perfect game and ignore their opponent. It's a classic style in StarCraft that traditionally, for the first 8 years of StarCraft 2, was objectively worse in terms of results than the more aggressive, dynamic, and risk-taking style that is more popular in Korea. Cyril, of course, was the first guy who showed you could become a world champion with a defensive style, with a standard style, by just being so good at the fundamentals you could just beat everyone. This looks like a 4-gate blink, guys. Are we going to see 2 more gateways now? Nope, he's just going to go out for a third. Bit too late. He does have a slightly better building placement, but the factory needs to go north. Yeah, if he puts a tank there, this positioning, much better than Bunnies, will defend the 4-gate blink. Double Widowmine drop towards the main base. No one's there right now. Single Adept there. 3 Stalkers in the natural. Third Nexus starting at 4 minutes on the dot. It's a 2-gate blink. That's a very greedy build, actually. He didn't go 3-gate this time, even though it's Whispers of Gold, a pretty aggressive map. Probes get some damage on, which is pretty nice. Does lose 2 probes there, but only one of them does actually fire. And the Stalkers actually did shoot the Nexus for 1 volley. But you know what? 3 probes for a Widowmine. Not the end of the world. 1 Widowmine does get out of there. And it's just going to hover over the mining equipment on the left side until it can be used later. Raven will go down the right side. Rock solid standard play here for ByuN. Oh. Medevac's going to go north. Dude, the mining equipment on the edge of this map is insane. We're mining rocks, ladies and gentlemen. This is a dream for some Deep Rock Galactic dwarves. Widowmine comes in. Clem not watching, but he reacts in time. Oh, no, he doesn't. Stacks him. 3 probes going down. Good start for ByuN. ByuN's been really good with his Widowmine pressure. He's got tanks coming in, 2nd and 3rd barracks coming up. Double bunker on the natural, which is actually a big mistake. He doesn't realize this was a fast 3rd. It's a shame that he's so turtling right now because he really should be getting an engineering bay instead of that 2nd bunker and getting +1. That's going to be quite delayed. Clem, even though he's taken 6 probe losses, I believe it is. Yeah. He's doing okay. Auto turret's going to come down up here. Shouldn't kill too much if Clem pulls away. Just a single probe and a little bit of mining time. Not too bad. Oh! Almost goes back a bit too early. Widowmine drop does come in. And of course, Clem there with the blink will take out that medevac. Or at least push it away. No Stalkers up on that base. Looks like the medevac may escape to the dead space. Raven's coming back in. I feel like that auto turret could be a little deeper on this mineral line, but he's going to get himself 2 more probes. Maybe get a 3rd if he focuses the weak one. Doesn't quite get it. Stalker defense is good. Stim, shields, and +1 on the way. Stalker, harass, good for Clem. Grabs 2 SCVs, getting a bit of revenge. He's going to cancel the refinery as well. Doesn't cost him anything either. I do like that ByuN sold his 2nd bunker, but my man Clem, taking out the Observer, ByuN, sorry, taking out the Observer, needs to go 3rd command center soon. Otherwise, he's going to be massively committed to this push. No SCV production right now. Slight supply block for ByuN. ByuN also needs extra depots building, unless he wants to save up for that 3rd command center. What? Medevac going to try and escape on the right side. Clem's still just sitting on 3 gases right now as he gets 6 more gateways. He's going to go 10 gates again. He loves that 10 gate style. Isn't that interesting? I always advise people go 10 gates rather than 8 if you're a slower player who isn't constantly remembering to warp in, because it just gives you the ability to make up for your inconsistent macro and spend your money. Make a bit of extra production if you're lower level. It's odd to see Clem doing that, because if you're going for the Colossus, the Sentries, the Immortals, you spend enough money on the Robo and on the 4th Nexus and this stuff that normally that's okay. But I guess he also wants the production flexibility. He sees a giant push coming with the Observer, and he says, yeah, let's not build a 4th base. Let's make a battery. Let's make Zealots and those Stalkers, of course, out front trying to defend. But ByuN's coming forward with a giant army. He's got himself 2 tanks, if an SCV or 2's in the mix randomly. A few Marines and Marauders trying to push this back. Hasn't stimmed just yet. Stalker's doing very well. He's going to try and force field this baby. Maybe. Sentries on that side. Tanks are siege. Bio coming forward. Really good positioning. Oh, anti-armor missile only hits a single Stalker. Great spready there for Clem. Not a great target for ByuN. Marine Marauder started stepping backwards. Widowmine gets a good shot on the Adept and a few Zealots. Tanks do get blinked on and taken out by the Stalker Immortal. And the Zealot Sentry is just chilling. He can also recharge and force field the choke point, so ByuN has to back off. Didn't actually find a favorable trade. And remember, his 3rd command center is not even finished yet. So ByuN gets pushed home. And of course, Clem, the savage that he is going to build a 4th Nexus, isn't he? Clem, like MaxPax, has an almost disrespectful level of macro, where he'll be almost half dead and he'll be expanding at the same time of it. No Robo Bay just yet, though. No 4th gas. And usually he is one to tech to the Colossus before going for a 4th Nexus. Few Zealots coming around that side. Stalkers in the middle. Still hanging out. And goes for the medevac. Doesn't quite get it. Good blink back as the Marines stim forward to chase him away. Zealots come in, but the bunker does have a few Marines inside. We'll be able to deflect for now. So the 3rd command center does float out. Zealots waiting in that 3rd mineral line to do what they can. Army on the front. No Colossus ready just yet. Blinks forward. A bit of a crazy blink. Clem known for blinking forward and throwing stalkers into the meat grinder. Not his best move. Zealot goes into the main base right now. Zealot's distracting at the third. There are Vikings nearby though. And even though he'll get the Zealot warp in off, the SCVs have been pulled. ByuN needs to back away. ByuN needs to back away on the front and focus on his fight at home. But he's getting stalker kills and he's keeping Clem off a fourth, but he goes way too deep there. ByuN not watching the front. He does pick up and save some bio, but he's got to be careful about these engagements against the force fields. He loses 7 SCVs while he's not looking. And of course, Clem, 62 workers versus 50, has that good economic advantage. ByuN needs to boost these medevacs out of there, I think. His army's a little small on the front. Clem is a crazy guy. He will chase you down and take out 3 Marauders. Wow, great trade there. You got to be so careful about leaving your army exposed on the front. You took out the Prism. You need to macro back up and get that army in position. The 4th Nexus going up. Colossus starts for Clem. It's almost finished, I should say. And he's going to start extended thermal lats. His +2's almost done. If he can get +3 with like 2-3 Colossus against Marine Marauder with only +1 armor, the Colossus will do massive damage. What a series we've got here. Clem's showing he has made a very stern stuff. He's 3-0 in PvT today in this tournament. ByuN going to deny that 4th Nexus rather easily if he chooses to click it. But the medevac's taking some big Widowmine splashies. He should have boosted those medevacs out of the way earlier. Sloppy control for ByuN. Takes big Widowmines to the medevacs. Loses 3 or 4 medevacs there. Notice how they don't show up here. He also just killed his own unit. Or maybe it was a probe. It only shows 1 medevac dead because most of them died to friendly fire. Friendly fire does not show up in that tab. He lost 2 medevacs to friendly fire. Another one just got sniped there by Clem's Stalkers. And this is the thing, man. The moment you don't have a big scary army and you look a bit afraid to engage, Clem will capitalize. The pair of Zealots that MaxPax is so famous for trickling in, and Clem has made a mainstay of his own style as well. 2nd Colossus coming in. It is an armor upgrade. Now, why armor instead of +3? It only costs 100 versus 200, and it upgrades about a minute or a minute and a half faster than going for +3. So armor is a no-brainer here. I actually love that choice. Even though I was talking about +3 against +1 armor Marines and Marauders, it's just a bigger investment in a situation where Clem is not rich. He's going to build a few more probes now, trying to think about a 5th base on the left as well. But he's only on 65 workers against 60. ByuN does have the 3rd up as he starts a 2nd starport on that factory's reactor. He's done with Widowmine production for this game. He wants to get the Vikings up to counter the Colossus. Clem going to add the 2nd Robo for the Disruptor production though. So he's got the kind of rounding out of his upgrades as well with the 2nd Forge. Got a big force of Stalkers on the left. Zealots roaming the map everywhere. But a bit of a hole in his vision, and ByuN finds that hole. Oh god, Clem hasn't seen it. Clem has not seen it. He gets scanned. He might realize now, oh man. Zealots are getting ready for a counterattack. Luckily, there's no Nexus started. A few Marines and Marauders counter that. Stalkers are going to come and jump. Of course, he's going to blink on it because it's Clem. it's not even in question. And it's actually a good blink. Gets a medevac and a few Marines. Force fields! Oh, EMP's land. Only gets 1 force field, but the Guardian Shield does get activated as 3 Colossus chase him down. Zealots are on the rally as well. ByuN's rally getting savaged right now as he tries to run back and deal with it. A few Zealots ripping up those Ghosts and Marines. Here comes the Colossus Stalker. Stalker set off the Widowmine and they pull away. No 5th Nexus right now for Clem as he starts +3 weapons, +2 armor against a Terran who has no armory. The longer this goes, the better it is for Clem. He's trying to pick away at ByuN and make him overstim, but he's got to be careful. Now that he sees those Vikings, backing away is the right call, and this is the evolution we're seeing in Clem week to week with his PvT. He kept throwing his army away at the wrong time. Right now, double Disruptor, 5th base, double upgrades against a Terran who is stuck on 3 base. ByuN has no worker production. ByuN's main is half-mined out. His natural's going to be half-minding out. He has no armory. He has only 1 engineering bay. He does not have a follow-up. ByuN is the one who has to win the game. You just need to survive as Clem right now, and I love to see Clem falling back and showing situational awareness, understanding of this situation. He does pop Guardian Shield a little early there. ByuN gets around him, goes around the right side. Clem out of position, but he should be able to save the Robo with the Disruptor shots. Disruptor shot goes forward. Oh my god, he focuses the Disruptors down. ByuN taking some big hits from the Colossus at the same time. Was it worth taking those Colossus splashies to take out the Disruptor? And he just leaves. Zealots are in his base. ByuN, no fight left in him. He just rage quits that game. And I want to show you guys those Disruptor shots because that was very hard to see. So let's watch that again. Let's watch that last fight again. A big Zealot counterattack hits his 3rd, which is part of why he GG'd. But look at this, guys. So he runs in. Crazy choice. The EMP is the Disruptors, which is nice. And at the very last second, he's like, you know what? I should probably click on that Disruptor, which is insane that he lets it get that close to going off. Now this next one comes in. And that also gets deactivated, and he doesn't bother focusing the third disruptor because it doesn't even fire. But notice, he's just ran forward in a clump into +2 attack Colossus. And those 3 Colossus are just eviscerating all of his Marines on this southern side, and the Marauder's getting heavily damaged as well. So that's huge. At the same time as he backs off and goes, oh, this fight's not going that well, the Zealots are dealing with his third. 4th command center's getting cancelled there, and he knows he's done for. Clem, 4-0 over 2. Incredibly well-pedigreed, high-level Terran players. What a fantastic run to get himself in the finals. GG, well played, Clem.